Sometimes the song that saves your career is the same one that costs you millions. In March 1989, Madonna was at a crossroads. 2 failed films, a crumbling marriage, critics calling her a one-trick pony. Then she created a song that would change everything. The day after the Pepsi commercial was released, Madonna released the actual Like a Prayer music video on MTV. Christian groups worldwide, including the Vatican, protested against its broadcast and called for a global boycott of Pepsi and its subsidiaries. $5 million. Gone in 4 days. But what she gained was something far more valuable. This is the story of the song that proved Madonna was more than just controversy. She was an artist. Every song has a story. Welcome to Behind the Music. By late 1988, Madonna Louise Ciccone was questioning everything. Following the critical and commercial failure of back-to-back big-budget films, Shanghai Surprise from 1986, and Who's That Girl from 1987, she acted in the Broadway production of Speed the Plow. However, the unfavorable reviews once again caused her discomfort. Her marriage to Sean Penn was falling apart. The tabloids were relentless. And for the first time since 1983, Madonna hadn't released any new music in almost a year. But in her darkest hour, Madonna was about to write the most personal song of her career. And it would cost a major corporation $5 million. Madonna had also turned 30, the age at which her mother had died, and thus the singer experienced more emotional turmoil. At Johnny Yuma Recording Studios in Los Angeles, Madonna reunited with producer Patrick Leonard. The man who had helped her create True Blue was about to witness something different. You've said before that Like a Prayer was the first song that was written for the album. When you guys finished that song, or at least had it at some sort of stage where it seemed like it was finished, did know that you had something special? Leonard recalled that Madonna usually works fast. But due to its emotional tone, it took her maybe 3 or 4 times as long to make Like a Prayer, because she kept breaking down. This wasn't the confident material girl the world knew. This was a woman pouring her pain into every note. Once you're a Catholic, you're always a Catholic. In terms of your feelings of guilt and remorse, and whether you've sinned or not, sometimes I'm racked with guilt when I needn't be. And that, to me, is left over from my Catholic upbringing. Once Madonna had conceptualized the way she would interpose her ideas with the music, she wrote Like a Prayer in about 3 hours. And it became the first song developed for the record. 3 hours. That's all it took to create what would become one of the most controversial songs in pop history.
If you love the legends, hit subscribe and keep the music alive.
While Madonna was recording her most personal album, Pepsi executives were planning something unprecedented. On January 25, 1989, following 8 months of negotiations, Pepsi announced that they had signed Madonna to a year-long endorsement contract, for which they would pay her $5 million. $5 million in 1989. That's over $12 million in today's money. The ad would also be the first time that a major recording was ever released in a TV spot, rather than over the radio or other special venue. But Pepsi didn't know what Madonna was really planning. The 2-minute ad wasn't all that controversial in itself, simply showing Madonna dancing on the streets with nuns and revelers alike, to Like a Prayer, before she lounges on a recliner at home to watch the footage on TV, with a Pepsi in hand. The commercial was wholesome, safe, everything Madonna usually wasn't. Pepsi boasted the ad would reach hundreds of millions worldwide. On March 2, 1989, Madonna's Pepsi commercial aired during The Cosby Show to massive audiences worldwide. 24 hours later, she would destroy everything. The day after the Pepsi commercial was released, Madonna released the actual Like a Prayer music video on MTV. Director Mary Lambert had created something that would change music videos forever. I wanted to explore the correlation between sexual ecstasy and religious ecstasy. Lambert, 69, tells THR, adding that the idea of a black Jesus was scary to a lot of people. That character came from Madonna telling me she wanted to F-word a black guy on the altar, Lambert recalls. I said, well, why not have it be a black Jesus? Let's just go all the way. She liked that. The reaction was immediate and explosive. The video is a blasphemy and insult because it shows immorals inside a church, Italian Roman Catholic historian Roberto De Mattei said at the time. Religious groups called for a boycott, with Pope John Paul II even speaking out against it. The Vatican, the Pope himself, all condemning a 4-minute music video. The first objections came from Reverend Donald Wildmont of the American Family Association, a Christian group. Wildmont threatened to have his AFA Journal's 380,000 subscribers boycott Pepsi until the company bowed to his demands. At Pepsi headquarters, panic set in. The phone lines were jammed with complaints. The New York Times said PepsiCo received numerous complaints from those who believed the Like a Prayer video was part of Madonna's Pepsi ad. 4 days. That's all it took for Pepsi to crack. On April 4, 1989, Pepsi-Cola announced it had banned all future broadcasts of the Madonna/Pepsi-Cola commercial, canceled her 1-year contract. According to Tara Borelli, Pepsi was so eager to extricate themselves from the controversy that they allowed Madonna to keep the $5 million advance. Madonna had just pulled off the greatest heist in advertising history, but the real victory was still coming. While religious leaders raged and corporations ran scared, something extraordinary happened. Billboard reports the song reached #1 on the Billboard Hot 100. While most TV stations banned the music video, MTV notably continued to air the video on heavy rotation. The controversy had backfired spectacularly. The album spent 6 weeks atop the chart, her longest run at #1 for any album. Worldwide, the album has sold over 15 million copies. At the 1989 MTV Video Music Awards, Madonna received the ultimate vindication. At the 1989 MTV Video Music Awards, the video for Like a Prayer was nominated in the Viewer's Choice and Video of the Year categories, winning the former. Coincidentally, the award show was sponsored by Pepsi that year, and when Madonna received the award on stage, she added, "I would really like to thank Pepsi for causing so much controversy." The critics, who had dismissed her, finally understood. Ever since Madonna's belly button first undulated its way into mass consciousness, her fame has been more a matter of image than artistry. Rolling Stone magazine said in its review, "As for her image, well, you may see her navel on the inner sleeve. But what you hear once you get inside the package is as close to art as pop music gets." Tara Borelli commented that in the end, the events surrounding Like a Prayer only served to enhance Madonna's reputation as a shrewd businesswoman, someone who knows how to sell a concept. 35 years later, Like a Prayer remains Madonna's masterpiece. It was #1 on MTV's countdown of 100 videos that broke the rules in 2005. And for the channel's 25th anniversary, viewers voted it as the most groundbreaking music video of all time. The song that caused Pepsi to cancel their campaign, while letting her keep $5 million, had given her something even more valuable: artistic credibility. The commercial was immediately canceled when I refused to change any scenes in the video where I was kissing a black saint or burning crosses. So began my illustrious career as an artist refusing to compromise my artistic integrity. Artists are here to disturb the peace. Madonna had gambled everything on a single song. In the end, Like a Prayer didn't just save Madonna's career. It transformed her from a pop star into an artist. And sometimes, that transformation requires burning a few crosses along the way. Because the greatest art doesn't comfort the comfortable. It disturbs the peace. Every song has a story. This one changed everything. If you love discovering the stories behind the music, hit subscribe. This was Untold Music Legends.